Okay, back for part 2. So, we did a little initial coverage. And I ran it and didn't get the reward. No big deal. Yesterday, I remember now, I started at the bottom of the list because it was supposed to help my friends and family run some stuff last night, and then they didn't get to log in, so I actually started at the bottom. So that's where I should start today. So I'll start with Skatach, my Titan weapon. What's her power set? Super reflexes is her tanker armor. And with the archetypes, classes, whatever, there's they don't really totally call them classes in here. There are some, they call them archetypes, because there's tankers and brutes, are your meat shields. The war shades and peace bringers can have a tanker aspect depending upon how you build them out. Then you have some range DPS, melee DPS, support, and healers. Some of the support archetypes can be pure healers or more of a team buffer, enemy debuffer. It's really dependent on how you build them. There's lots of ways to do that. It's really dependent on your play style, your theme, if you're setting up a theme for your character, and that's what I was going to show you too, is that like when you build your character, one of the last screens you see is this one, and you won't have this title. You might have if you pick that, but this is granted to you later as you play. You can pick various titles from a list of titles. So there's your origin. Hers is mutation. Her archetype is a tanker. Again, they don't call it a class per se, because it's kind of not a pure class. To me, her class would be defense, meat shield, whatever you want to call it. Your health, your endurance, your security level. She's capped out 50. Total experience XP needed. And as you create, when you create, these numbers aren't going to be very big because you're level 1. You got a supergroup affiliation, how much influence you have on you currently. That's your money. Villain side, it's called infamy. And a Praetorian, it's called information. All INF. So people usually shorten it in chat to INF. You can do a battle cry that every time you hit F10, you can keybind that to a particular power. So one that you don't do very often, or you use as a finishing move or something, you can keybind that to that power. And every time you hit that power, it would say this up to 32 letters. So, and then your character description. So here's your backstory. You have 1,023 letters. I have some not crazy in-depth backstories. Some people do. Some people write even longer ones on the FASB website, FASB. which is a linked wiki page for uh, players. Um, but when I hit 50, I always, after the first couple, I didn't do it on the first couple, but I decided I was going to start documenting it. When I hit, she is one of my most recent. It's December at 4:19 a.m. after 123 hours for number 58. This was my last one. If I remember correctly, I have to look at my spreadsheet. And I don't have it open yet, so I forgot to open it up before. But yeah, you can find out how long you played by talking to any NPC in the game that's walking around in a major city that's name begins with the letter M. M is in Mary or Mike. And they will tell you how many hours you've been on patrol. So as soon as I hit 50, I probably went to Paragon Island very soon after, and if I was in a mission, I did it right after I got out of the mission, so it's really close. And then I found an M. Somebody walking. There's a ton of NPCs walking around Portal Corp, and I found an M1 and clicked on it, and I did 123 hours. Almost all of mine I solo on my tanks. Some of my blasters I've done that as well. A couple other masterminds. But then there were 26 of these 58, which is a little less than half. I got capped to level 50 all last year during the week-long April Fool's event, because it's crazy XP. I made one toon. Let's go look at him right quick. Since we're on that subject, then we can come back and run her through. I made one toon during the event just to see how fast I could level. Made it the day of, and of course capped the day of because it's really quick, and this is crazy quick. So I made my homage to my favorite Wheel of Time character, Matrim Cathon, Prince of the Ravens, the Gambler. So, I know it's oh, I didn't add it to his thing. I know I got it on my. Oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to pull that up and add that to it, because I know I put it on my list. I just don't think I put it on him then, because yeah, it's insane. Yep. Alright. Yeah, April 7th. Okay. I thought it was 3, but it's 2 hours. So, the thing is there's a crazy boost in experience during this event, and the map server thing that spawns in different zones every so often just spawns tons of mobs, tons of enemies, and the GM, the giant monster that spawns the map server, if you have enough people and do enough damage, is just insane. And it's like just crazy experience. But the other thing is that the vendor, um, the start vendor now is what it's called. Uh, the you can get an experience boost of 100% for 8 hours. It only took me 2 of the 8 hours that I had that. Uh, yeah, let's go. Let's go get there right quick. Um, Start working on that badge on him. Uh, so yeah, it literally probably took 5 maybe runs on him to get him to cap, because that's is probably about 15 or 20 minutes per uh, event, um, to get him capped out. Uh, so let's see, I should get the day job Dimensional Explorer. Yep, after 4 days, I will have that badge. Oh, there's a badge too. Yep. Alright. So, that's super quick, man. I mean, 2 hours, that's like, you know, insane. You can't, I don't think you can PL somebody in the Architect that fast, even. So yeah, I mean that was my 49th, and I still did 3 other characters, and I had made one that I kind of slow rolled because I decided to make a fire blaster, and she took 6 hours. And then my imp, villain side imp defender, that's not pure empathy, but I decided to make him a defender, but with my kind of initial build that I made him back before you could be a villain defender. He was like a corruptor or whatever, the converse villain only side that couldn't be a defender but could heal, but they didn't have empathy. It was thermal radiation, and then radiation blast, so I called him Dr. Lithium. But yeah, he was only like level 10 or so. But yeah, the Prince, I just got him on a couple really big teams, and he just leveled so fast. It was pretty crazy. Alright, let's get back on Scat. And do we double click? Yeah, there we go. Okay. We are going. Gotta take the mish first. Can't go in the pillar without the mission. Scatatch is a Celtic trainer of great warriors, something like that. Can't remember everything exactly, but if you read the Immortal Nicholas Flamel young adult book series, you might be familiar with her. Yeah. Yeah, I think I gave, since she trains fighters and trained a Titan or took down a Titan or something. I can't remember exactly. I think I gave her Super Reflexes Titan weapon just for S and G. I know I gave Titan weapon. I think that's Super Reflexes. Yeah, yeah, because she's supposed to be like a major martial artist trainer person, and I can't remember. I don't think there's on the defensive main tank, primary tank, or a power set. I don't think they're martial arts. I think there's invol, super strength, what is super reflexes, and then like ice armor, fire armor, stone armor, electric armor. Oh man. A couple others. Dark. What else? Or something else? Shield defense. Man. Let's get in the center because they're gonna. Come on, move out of the way, Agent X. You guys can get rid of all my light work. Come on. Oh, I must be terrorized. Yeah. No mind. Oh, God. How aptly named. You run into him through a mission, and yeah, you ain't got no mind is right. You know, I know it takes all kinds to make the world go round, but I'm surprised he made it to adulthood. Nothing totally surprises me anymore, but you know. Come on, Gunty. Yeah, go up there and aggro everything. Not that I can heal you anyway, I don't have enough power yet. You're gonna go down. Goodbye. Shoot. Well, at least he blasted most of those people away. He killed them, not just spread them out. So yeah, this one I can get my Cupid Crush. Now I can show you the base because I'll run in and throw my stuff in the base. So, name of my super group is J-Bones' Cohorts. Is all my characters. I don't have anybody else on here because I don't really want anybody else. It's just a house for all my tunes. There they all are. They're my mules. On down to I don't have my newest tune that I created. I guess I didn't invite him yet because, well, he's only like level 3. Um, I got a. I can't remember. I saw somebody that's fire, fire rock or something close to it. So I created Mama Magma, and she's like a stone fire or fire stone. Can't remember which. And then I created the other converse one, um, and I called him Papa Pahoihoi, because Pahoihoi is a type of lava. So it's very smooth lava. Yeah. Um, yeah. Sometimes I just get weird ideas, and then yeah, it's like my all ice tanker guys that I wanted to make one of everything, and I think I'm still about 2 or 3 short. But yeah, it's my super group. In the super group, um, and yeah, you'll notice a lot of Latin. Deek, venomous. Uh, we come from all parts. Have the chaos symbol because we come from all parts. Uh, my message of the day is Vini Vidi Vici. Um, and then I have uh, Roman uh, ranks. Tribunus, Laticlavis, and Legatus. I haven't been able to find a way to allow lower levels access to all the bends and stuff. So if I could do that, like they'd have different names. Um, Here's the names: Perfectus Castorum, Primus Pilus, Centurion, Tesserasius, or something like that. Yep. But yeah, you tried to click to edit permission, and I give them permission to stuff, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't save it, or it doesn't. You know, this just. It doesn't let. It doesn't give access to the base bends. I can't even drop stuff off in them, so I have to put them all at Legatus. Because even if I make them this, they don't have access to the bends, so it sucks. Um, but you can, yeah, you can do a group description. I don't really need that. You can pick your primary and secondary color and an emblem, your motto, your message of the day, and then you can go in, and this gives you an extra color palette on your character if you do so desire. So, like, say her original palette wasn't black and orange, which I don't know why. Half my tunes are black and orange. Probably because that's my favorite color scheme. Anyway, she's a bad example because she was black and orange already. But like, my ice tankers are bluish tinted. There's a few other characters that I decide to make a different color scheme and blah blah blah. But here you can technically, and you can change this for free. You can change into the team colors, and uh, you can have a different palette, and then you can hide your supergroup emblem or display it. So yeah, yep, that's it. Most bases you start with an entry room, and you cannot change this. You can add like people to it, but you can't really change it. And then you build your base off of that. This is my travel room. So, uh, hero low level, hero mid level, except I gotta change Striga's still in there, and they changed that. Blue high level, co-op zone, villain red high level, or villain all level because there's only 6. All right, 7. Sorry. Uh, Shadow Shard and Praetorian gold side, and you just pick where you want to go, and you can teleport. Once you get all the uh, exploration things in a zone, you can get the teleporter map for it and link it to a teleporter. And there's different flavors for teleporters. Yep. And I got a few little cool things, and then I got a pillar to do missions. Some rooms I haven't really built out yet. I just haven't got to it. And then I got some personal rooms, and some I built out, and some I haven't built jack. Wait a sec. I had. Oh, okay. Here it is. The one room I built out. I thought I had 2. 2 rooms built out, but man, this one's not even all the way built out. And then this one's just a crazy arcane themed power room. And then there's just junk I threw in, and then my storage bins for salvage components. I just topped them up a little bit ago. Oh, yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, because yeah, okay. This is a crafting table. You can run through a mission and learn how to craft the enhancements. I have recipe drops for the regular or set ones, I mean, and then there's haven't done any, so I haven't opened up the other ones, but you can craft regular ones. I'll show those in the bin. But yeah, it tells you how much you need to craft it, and then the components. And I know that is a uncommon, and it's in this 4th bin right here, which is unquenchable flame. So I could take one of those, and I could literally craft that. What was it? Yeah, for just under $500,000. Yep. But I don't really want to, and I'll put that piece of salvage back. Doink. There we go. And then you have access to the regular vault storage. You don't have to go to a bank. They are strewn around through the various zones. And then crafted enhancements. And that's what I'm going to do. Drop that off. Hey. See, I've run a lot, because I have 29 of these. 20, 11, 2, 3, 10, and I've kitted out a few with 4 slaughters, and a couple 5 slaughters, and a couple all 6 slots. So yeah, I've run 5 times 20 ish. So yeah, I've run that mission 100 times. Yeah, but There's some other normal set, and then they're in alphabetical order. I've got them so I can find them easier. And I didn't put any designators over them because, yeah, nobody can get in here but me, so nobody needs to know what's in there. I put the things over the teleporters, so if I group with somebody and they use my base to get around for doing the missions or the task forces or strike forces, and we're using the base for teleporting, they know where to go, kinda. But yeah, and then from here, these are the regular crafted enhancements, and they vary by level. Um, they don't scale per se, but if you have a level 30 in it, it doesn't stale out like a single origin, dual origin, or generic origin. Um, well, they don't really have that really generic origin anymore, but yeah. Um, those, I'll show you what those look like. I just want to check. Yep, got 71. Um, I think this guy. Yeah, see, these are. Uh, yeah, that's a single origin. Oh, he won't even show them. He won't even show the other stuff. That's pretty silly. Not that I really would want to buy it, but they used to have some standard or generic, true generic that didn't even have an origin, and these are the same in a way. If I had like a level uh, 55, I think it would be red. It wouldn't do anything to increase my powers. So they stale out. Whereas these crafted ones, even if I had a 30 in here, yeah, the percentage wouldn't be the 42.4%, but it would still affect the recharge of that until I can get a 50 uh, to increase it. So, yeah, yep. Alright, let's log and or alt, whatever some people call it, alting. And let's go do the next one in line, which should be Boom Shakalaka. My rad armor kinetic. Oh boy. Yeah, nothing cool. Rinse and repeat. Oh, does she have super jump on? Yeah, she sure does. Skip, leave, oh shoot, I didn't click that, that's fine. I have to close it when I get back out of the cutscene. Oh ho ho. Time is it? Not quite 6 o'clock. Let's go over here and get ready. There they go. Button. Yeah, see, this one doesn't have. The only incarnate is the agility or the alpha slot. I've got this one crafted, but I don't have it open yet. You have to. You'll see I get like a little bit of experience from my judgment slot and what's the other slot? Not lore. Shoot, I can't remember. Interface. Then once you get these two open, then you get lore and destiny to start working towards unlocking, and then finally hybrid. Oh man, I let Scorp. Get back over here, buddy. Oh, he fell down. Now, let's get repositioned. Let's move this crate out of the way. There we go. There's Scirocco. Terrorized. What's that? No power siphon. Yes. There we go. Alright. Come on. Go throw the stuff in the base. Because our... Stay up there. Okay, that's all of them. Man, I really need some of this one. Only technically have 2 full sets. Any salvage to dump? Nope. Alright. Okay. Now, instead of rinsing and repeating, which I will play a little later, let's go in and I won't create one because I don't have a concept for one, but I'll start. I'll show you how character creation begins. So you can choose Primal Earth or Praetorian, which starts in the alternate dimension. You can stay there for the first 20 levels and then come to Primal Earth and go either hero or villain. You can go to First Ward and Night Ward if you want to stay in Pretoria a little longer, up until about 40. finish all of the Praetorian content. Uh, you might have skipped some stuff if you're using the enhancement boost stuff from the start vendor to boost your experience gain. But you can get through most all of the content, if not bypass some of it, and hit level 40. There's a way to get the last 10 levels and stay in Pretoria and never go to Primal Earth. That is a not super hard road, but it can be done. Uh, the only problem with doing that is you do gimp yourself to content, because you miss out on a lot of stuff. You can still do architect stuff through Pocket D. That's one of the ways to get the last 10 levels. If you map out your progression, you only have to do that for about 5 levels, because there is some missions available after level 40 if you do it right. Again, the only problem is you are totally cutting yourself off from Primal Earth. You have no access. You can't do any teaming with anybody unless it's in the 5 zones of Pretoria. Nova Pretoria, geez, I can't think of them all now. Metropolis, I can't think of the third main one. Night Ward and First Ward. Man, I'm totally missing one. But yeah, yep. It says, you see right here, you can leave Pretoria at level 20 for either Paragon City or Rogue Islands. You can put that off till level 40 as well, and then take the portal and pick hero or villain side, or do the long road and have a crazy pure Praetorian. Then your origin, and it gives you the little blurb here, and you get a little inherent power that's nice for the first 10ish levels. After that, usually you don't use it. But yeah, you pick your origin, and then again, it really has no bearing on the outcome and mechanics of your tune. It's more of a flavor. It affects your path through some of the missions and contacts, because some of them have preferences to different origins, but it doesn't negate any of that. And they've opened that up, and sometimes if you run out of contacts, leveling, which doesn't really happen that much anymore, you can find other contacts that are of other origins, and they will give you missions. You can put your name in at any time. I'm not going to name anybody because I'm not really making a tune. I'm just showing you the stuff. Then under play style, you got your tank, melee damage, range damage, crowd control, support, and pets. So if you pick tank, we'll go through this a bit. Now you can pick the archetype of a tank, which is a brute, tank, peacebringer, or warshade. Peacebringer and warshade can also be other things. They have actually 3 kind of forms in a way. So let's say we want melee damage instead. Now you have brute, still have brute. Brutes can do quite a bit of damage, depending upon how you build them, and not be so defensive. Scrapper is pure melee damage. Stalker is pure melee damage. Tanker, you can gimp your defense a little and do more damage. and then Arachnos Soldier and Arachnos Widow. Uh, Range damage: Blaster, Corruptor, Defender, Sentinel, Arachnos Soldier, Arachnos Widow, Peacebringer, and Warshade. Again, see, they can do range damage depending upon your loadout and how you build your character. Then, Crowd Control. Controller and Dominator. That's it. This used to be the hero side. This used to be the villain side. Now, because of alignment changes and whatnot, you can do whichever one you want. The controller used to not do hardly any damage. It was more of a support. And the Dominator used to do a little more damage, hence the lightning bolt. But still that same purple color with kind of the controller-esque logo. But with the lightning bolt for more damage, and the controller didn't do as much damage and was more about crowd control, hence the name. Support. Now you have, and then again, it all depends on the powers that you take and how you build out your controller. A Corruptor, Defender, which can be a healer, pure healer. The Corruptor was the villain side healer that didn't have pure empathy. They had that radiation or thermal radiation that gave them semi-equivalent to an empathy defender from hero side, but the villains didn't have a pure empathy healer. Mastermind used to just be on the villain side, not the hero, but again, that's all changed. This is the pet class, really pet class. Controllers can have a pet, but you can make a mastermind not be a pet class, but it's kind of weird and it kind of gimps them on damage. But if you want it for thematic play style, role-playing reasons, knock yourself out. There's stuff on the forums about it, and people make it work. You're just not doing as much damage as a pure pet mastermind. And then the Arachnos Soldier and Arachnos Widow. Again, depending upon how you build them out, you can go for damage or go for support. Because they have a few pets too. Now in the pet class, you're going to see Controller, Dominator again. Mastermind is the pure pet, and then the Arachnos Soldier, because they have access to a few more pets than the Widow does, so they're not under the pet. I have a lot of experience with all of them, but the tank, I have the most probably hours under my belt, so we'll pick tank, and then we'll go tanker. And now it shows you this graph. Tanks have the most survivability, decent melee damage, not much range damage, not much crowd control, but some because of their taunt, and then hardly any support and hardly any pet. These will change because the tank is the pure tank. The brute will slip a little and go more damage, but you can make them a little more tanky, but not as tanky as a pure tank. And then these guys, the Peacebringer and Warshade, with the Warshade being the lowest one, that's the tank form. Most people call it the lobster. You can be a Humie, and then that is the squid, and that's the damage dealing form, is the squid. To play all three, you have to utilize the three builds that you have access to, and you can swap between them, but you have to, it's basically like having three characters in one, but and you can swap back and forth, I think mid-mission, as long as you're not in the middle of a fight. I think. I'll have to double check. I haven't played mine in a while, and I only have the damage dealing build all the way built out. Um, I'll show you that in a sec. Just for S&G after we're done with this, just so you can see it. Uh, but it's very expensive because you're basically building 3 characters. Um, so you have your damage dealing and you slot it out correctly. Then you have your tank build and you slot it out totally different. And then you have your human build and it's slotted out totally different. And then when you switch, like the one that I have, when I show you, it'll be all slotted out. And then I'll switch to the tank build, which I don't think I have slotted out hardly at all because I haven't built it. And there's another 300 million influence, infamy, or information spent for each build, depending upon how much you min-max it. But yeah, so we'll just go with the tank, regular tank. So then you pick your powers, and your primary is your defense, because the tank is the most defensive. Oh wow, I didn't know they added that. That's kind of cool. It'll give you a little blurb down below, but it probably gives you more information with that information pop out window. But you have, and I think these are kind of in alphabetical, except for some they might have added. We'll check. Bio armor, and it gives you the sets and it tells you what they do. Dark armor, electric armor, fiery armor, ice armor, invulnerability, radiation armor. Yeah, they're in alphabetical order now. Shield defense, stone armor, super reflexes, and willpower. So, some of those are like, elemental. Stone, ice, fire, electrical, dark, and biological armor, and then other ones are like status, effect. Your invul, resist, temp invulnerability, dull pain, blah blah blah. Shield defense, sword and board, baby. They do have axes and hammers and other stuff, not just sword, but yeah. It really doesn't matter. I know. Let's just go with one that's not so elemental based. Let's go with invul. So, resist physical or temp invul as your first selection. If you're going for a pure tank, you're probably going to take most of these. I do not take Unstoppable because it has a slight detraction to it if you read it. It says, when it wears off, you are left exhausted and drained of almost all health and endurance. So if you do not pop that power at the right time, you're going to go down. And you could cause a TPK. I mean, because you lost, your party lost the tank. If you're soloing and you have really good situational awareness, this can help you finish off that last, arch villain, hero, giant monster, whatever. But you got to use this wisely. I just don't like it. It takes up a slot, and I don't like it. But you usually take almost every one of these. So we're just going to start with the top one on resist physical. And now your secondary set is your damage dealing set. So you have axe, sword, claws, Wolverine, dark melee, dual blades, electrical melee, energy melee, fiery melee. See a theme? Ice melee, katana. So it has broadsword and katana because, you know, there is a difference and it's flavored. You want a personalization. This game is great about personalizing your character. You can build your superhero to be just about whatever you want. Kinetic melee, martial arts, psionic, radiation, savage. Some of these have, like Savage is one that has a bonus stuff when you get through like three regular attacks. Then it highlights an attack as like a combo in a way, and when you hit that attack, now that you've got your third combination of some of the lower level ones, it does a little extra damage. Spines, staff fighting does that a little bit with some weird little things. Street justice does that, and then you have super strength, Superman, think Superman, Titan weapon, which you saw me with on Scat, and War Mace. So with the shield, you can have a hammer, mace, whatever you want to call it. You can't have a Titan weapon. Titan weapon's two-handed. And staff is two-handed. But you can have the mace. I don't know if you can have katana because it just seems weird. You can't do dual blade. You can't do claws. But broadsword and battle axe you can definitely have. So what did I pick? Invol or will or something like that, or super strength. So let's just do weird fiery melee. Now these are almost always close melee. You know, they might have like fire breath does a cone and it has a smidge of the range, but not much. Most of them don't have a range attack, and that's why back on that graph under ranged attack on tanks it had low numbers. Sometimes it depends upon my theme. Sometimes I don't take the first power because sometimes you don't take all of these, and maybe you don't want the sword. You don't want the fiery sword. Well, I think it will let you do non-weapon. We'll do that and we'll see if that's the one I'm thinking of. So now you get into your customization of your body, of your character. Male, female, huge, male. Think Hulk, the Thing, big chunky muscular dude. I wish you could make him fat to be like the Blob, or I can't remember that other comic book character, but there's a couple chunky fat boys. I run a lot of females just because it's funny and it's kind of, and almost all of my tunes I make super short. And people are like, why? And it's like, especially my tanks, it's because I'm out of the way. Some people like to click on a target. Some people like to tab a target. This way I'm small and unobtrusive. So you can click on a mob that's around me to target. The smart thing to do is to target through the tank. But we won't get into that kind of stuff right now. And you can make them scrawny, very gracile, or a little more chunky, whatever. I'm a big abuser of this. Punk, and chunk, and chunk. Make it short as I can. It's under 4 feet. I mean, you can and height, make them huge. Whatever you want. And this is, this is just the general customization of the body outline right here. Now you get in the costume, and now you can get into a few more things. They have some presets. Uh, let's go this way: armored, average, bear, biker. Um, I like to usually just start with the bear base. That way, it doesn't have any of the stuff on, and I can just start. You pick your color scheme, skin color. My color scheme is usually black and orange. And then, you can go from brown to purple. There are some orange skinned people in around the world in game um, from using a particular drug, just like the trolls. There's green skin. There's also plant based stuff. There's red skin for using a particular type of drug too. I think it's the same as the orange. It just depends upon how it affects that person. And there's all points in between. I mean, you can, can. I got some really dark gray skin, funky drowish looking, and I got some green and orange. Orange skin for various reasons, just, So, yeah, you can set that to your heart's content. You can link or not link. So if you want to clown suit it up, or if you want to stick with this particular, and then you can change scales on the face. I mean, head, depth. And then you decide you want to change your body. You don't want to go all the way back. There you go. You can randomize it, whatever you want. But then through this menu, full mask, hats, hoods, helmets, half helmets, full helmets, medieval helmets, think tank, floating head, monsters, piranha, big cat, medium size, big cat, large size, wolf, bird, minotaur, special helmets, which is Arachnos, only one. The wolf spider, I mean, it's only through Arachnos. And then there's the pumpkin head, which is weird. I forgot about pumpkin head. But yeah, you know, hats. Starts with the Santa hat, but there's tons of different hats. We'll do hat just for shits and giggles. But shape, average one, let's zoom in. Average one, average two. It's just changing some facial structure, bone structure, youthful, strong, intellectual, thin, square, So yeah. And now face. Just different looks. Victorian steampunk, Imperial Dynasty, retro, celestial armor, some that goes with some of the other sets. Young, hostile, older, supernatural. Oh yeah. And some with the armor again, organic armor, vein, rot, zombie, feline, bioluminescent. Just all kinds of stuff, man. I mean, and then some of them, like this organic, then this secondary set. Usually, if you go back one, it's the organic armor and see how it took on that color to the part that's the organic armor. We'll leave it on that. and we'll go through the hat. All kinds of different hats. There might be something for organic armor, but I don't think so in the hat. Some of them do, like Omega, uh, the Jester set, Witch, Classic Steampunk, Gunslinger, yeah, yep, Princess, yeah, we'll throw the Resistance on there to be funny. Ears, human, elf, imp, fairy, demon, vampire, floppy bunny, floppy ears, bunny ears, cat ears, rat, teddy bear, wildcat. Um, you know, all kinds of stuff. Detail. These are like eyewear and a few other things, and some of them are up or down. Um, Goggles and patches, monocles, reticles, gesture eye thing, retro sci-fi to add to your hat, some stuff to add to your hat or helmet, horns, just spikes on your head or forehead. Uh, you know, with the hat on, I guess it doesn't have the glasses up feature. Uh, but if you go without that, you can have the glasses up on your head, in your hair, or maybe that's on detail too. I shouldn't have zoomed out. Let's go back and just kind of, the Plague Doctor is one of the newest things they just added. But there you can see some of that stuff, a little closer detail now. This is for some of the helmets and some other stuff. Whiskers. I've got a few cat girls. Rebreathers, flight masks, iron jaw. Stuff. Lots of stuff. Yep. Oh, let's give her the cigar. There we go. Alright, now up body. Tops with skin, tights, shirts, baggy robes, sleeveless robes, jackets, sleeveless jackets, trench coats, bolero. I use bolero a lot. It's just kind of fun. And then there's different settings for the design of the bolero. Armored, robotic arm, unique top, Sybil. This is a little Roman, kind of Romanesque, toga-ish weird thing that's in the game. We'll just go with my obligatory tops with skin. Bikini, there's all kinds of weird stuff. I do barbarian a lot. Shoulder pads, there's all kinds. Let's zoom in again. All kinds. Let's turn around a smidge. There's some that aren't so shouldery, like these are some upper arm cuffs. We did barbarian. Let's do the barbarian fur. And tied or belted. Well, we want belted because there's, it doesn't have to be. You could leave them tied. And this is one I would swap and make these orange and this black, but since I don't want to change it quite yet, I'm going to leave it that way. Chest detail for emblems and symbols on the chest. Extra added, ammo belts, straps, chest plates and stuff to just build your character and make it look like what you want. Gloves, So sometimes there's primary and secondary settings. So smooth bare, and then shiny leather, tight, sleek, blah 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 blah. But under that smooth bare, there's all these other ones that sometimes again have some secondary, but sometimes don't. So there's just, I mean, you can make 1,000 tunes and totally not make the same one twice. Uh, you know, usually on barbarians, the barbarian setup, I go barehanded. And then you can have, like, hey, you want to give her these weird Celtic tattoos. Well, there you go. Change the color of them if you want. Whatever. And then a belt. All kinds of. There's a whatchamacallit belt. Barbarian. There it is. It's a ring and that, and then you can do basic or belted to add the buckles to it. I usually don't like the buckles, so lower body, bottom with skin, bottom skirt short, tucked in tight pants, pants armored, monstrous. For the cat girl, you make a real cat girl with cat legs. I mean, small, even though it looks like the large are bigger than the small on the upper thigh, who knows? And then hairy for a reptilian, blah blah blah. All kinds of weird jazz. But we're gonna do barbarian. Yeah, I don't like it with the belt, but I'm not gonna play this character. I'm just showing you guys. And now, boots. Again, you can go with just the regular smooth and then have all these other options, or sometimes like stiletto. Now you still have all these options, but not all of them do that. Like fire and ice, now you can only have a couple different options. But let's go barbarian leather. There we go. Barbarian fur. We did fur, and we don't want tied, we want belted. Again, now we're gonna swap because we know we're pretty much done. I know I'm pretty much done. So I'm gonna do that. Oh shoot, forgot to click that off. I do that quite often. Unclick the linked colors. Now I'm gonna make the fur black and the boots orange, the same orange. So now I can go up to the shoulders and do the same thing. Now the leather's all orange and the fur, and then I'm going to turn the belt off because I don't want the, oh shoot, belt. Oh yeah, I was confused. There's a lot of stuff in character creating. The easy part sometimes is this first part. And then you have back detail, so you can have a cloak, a cape, there's mantle options, there's brooch options, that's on the front, either full mantle, half mantle. The brooches are there. Asymmetrical over shoulder. High collar is a weird one for, Doctor Strange. Jet packs. So your technology, that's how you fly. There's actually other jetpacks. This was the old school thing. It's actually on backpacks. There are more. And then wings, so your natural mutant, whatever, that's got wings. Angel, bat, bone, burn, celestial. Celestial always open. Cherub, demon, blah, 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 blah. There's mechanical ones. Uh, all kinds of. And then you can zoom in and they'll stop and fold. So while you're on the ground, you can see what they look like. Then under backpack, now you're going to get a lot of some of the other jetpacks. They didn't add them to jetpack, they put them in the backpack. But other cool little things that go with stuff. Oh, let's zoom out on that one. Good lamps. There's a jetpack. Jetpack. Quiver. Reactor. Could be considered a jetpack. School backpack. Warp. Warp with effect. Waterfall. Money bag. Vanguard with jetpack. Post-apocalyptic. Again, we got some, retro sci-fi jetpacks. All kinds of weird stuff, man. This one's one of my favorite. Wicker basket 2 with the arm out and out. Wait, there it goes. Come here. Get me out of this basket. Tombstone chained or just stuck to your back somehow. Standard clockwork, rusted clockwork, and the wind-up key. Yep. We're to do none. And then auras. You used to have to do a mission to get auras, and I think that was at level 20 or 30. But they're from the get-go now. There's all different kinds. And then you can have them body and eye, chest and eye, left eye, right eye, hair. It's not so big, just the head, blah, blah, blah. Yep, all kinds. Butterflies, yeah, it's just, and then there's path ones. So autumn, it's leaves every time you run or walk, and then there's options for just when you're in movement only and not just standing still. Yep. So, and then you can randomize a lot of stuff, man, and then save it. If you think of a design but you don't have the slot open yet, then you can just save it to a file. Now your powers, you can change the color on some of them, or sometimes the effect, as we'll see in Fiery Melee. Some don't have it, some do. If you want the color scheme to match your outfit, or just something different. Maybe you want them to be blue based. We'll leave that dark, and then you can match it across all the power set. Now you can see what it does and how it looks. Yeah. Now under melee, original, bright fire, dark fire. Now you want them to match across all the set. You can click the bottom, and now it's going to be the same on here. And now your scorch is going to be blue fire. And now see, it's always a sword. It doesn't, yeah, I think it's for stone mallet. It'll let you do it like it'll encase your hands. But then there's a scimitar, And then there's the Greater Fire Sword, which is like this spear pointed, huge monster sword. And then they got dark and light. Combustion, again, you can change everything, or you can just go through and have it change it to the alt sword so that it's always that one. Or if you want one for one and one for the other, say you want that for the Greater Fire Sword, but you want the scimitar on that one, then you got scimitar. And then once you open up other stuff, there's other stuff to change, like your travel power and inherent power, because you don't open that up until level 2 on some of that stuff. Um, yeah, it's crazy. You can, you know, it can take that long to build a character, or you can just do random and a lot of stuff and do it really quick, and then go back and tweak stuff, because you have the 10 different costume slots eventually, as long as you're not a pure Praetorian. Um, but that is character creation kind of in a nutshell. That's an interesting little thing. But yeah, let's go look at my pure Praetorian. Oops, one more. So in Pretoria, you either kind of align yourself with the resistance or the loyalist. And see, you can go to Pocket D, but you can't go anywhere else other than the 5 zones of Pretoria. And I unfortunately can't do those missions because they won't talk to people from another dimension. So and then see, my loading screen is going rogue. Well, we can look in here. We don't have to go into a Praetorian zone. But yeah, it's built out and everything, and then you can see the background's gold instead of blue or red, depending if I'm villain or hero. But her costumes are missing the 3 slots, and she'll never get those unless I would transport her to Primal Earth, and I will not do that. I just think it's pretty cool that she's a pure Praetorian, and like, this is the face maker and the regular Icon employee. They won't talk to me at all. They don't talk to people from alternate realities, so I can't. I can sell stuff at the Arachnos dude, I think. Yeah. He doesn't mind, but they do mind. And yeah, to change costumes, Imperial City. That's what I couldn't remember the zone. Nova Pretoria is the starting zone. Imperial City is the middle zone. Then Metropolis is the ending zone, and then they added First Ward and Night Ward later. So I know Taylor. There she is. Yeah, way down there. Doink. It also makes it hard for Praetorians to get incarnate stuff, because they have to do eye trials a very particular way, but you don't have to do eye trials to unlock your incarnates, but it's nice to get the components for them, but you can still do it through one particular mission. Let's see, here's the Icon, the Taylor person, but she's not in a shop, so you don't, you can't get, you're limited on badges as well, because they just don't have, you don't have access to as many day jobs and other stuff, but I've almost, there are some other badges I could get that I haven't gotten, but I am pretty close on almost all the Praetorian badges you can get. There's a few more Ouroboros ones I can get. Not very many, but there are a few. There are some event ones I can get. There's a few defeats I probably are able to get. And then I don't have any of the invention ones, and I can do all the invention ones, and there's 60-ish plus 80, something like that, plus invention badges. But that's about it. There's under 400 badges for a pure Praetorian. After that, you're kind of stuck. You know, there's some that might be on here that says you can get them, but you can't, because you can't get, you know, like this one. I can't get fashion designer because there is not an icon or a face maker place to go into and get that day job badge. I can earn the clubber, but I can't earn that one. Same thing with this one. I get the patroller, but not the vanguard. So I'll never get that one. Intern, nope. Get professor. Shopkeeper, nope. Day trader, yep. Law enforcement, nope. Banker, yep. Yeah. Yeah, there's some that, and there's like a couple weird ones on defeat that for some reason I got a ghost, I thought. Yeah. These I can get through the Valentine's Day missions. I could do those and get the snap tooth, her red cap, and Tuatha. I don't know how I got 3 ghosts. Would get 333. That would take a while. And the longbow and the toxic and wolf spiders. Those are through some missions, and in the one zone they spawn a little bit, and I could eventually get some of those, but it will take a while. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's just something weird and something unusual to do, and I like doing unusual stuff, so I made a pure Praetorian. And she just camps out here, but there is the mission, the contact, that I don't even know if, yeah, she's not on there because I've done the mission, so I'd have to, where's the portal? Show you through the flashback portal, because I just finished the mission not too long ago. The one to do for the components. This kind of sucks because it's a little longer than the Heather Townsend arc. And it's the only one you can really do through flashback or the Praetorian missions, and it's considered a Praetorian. Yep, that's it. So Belladonna, she starts it, and that one you can do, and at the end you get the option to get a piece of incarnate component stuff, and that's the only way to get that without doing eye trials, which is problematic again. Well, I think it might be almost. We'll do one more. I'll do one more. Did I do boom? No, I can't remember. Dadgummit. Yeah, I did. Okay. It hasn't done the rollover, so I don't see. It's been a day. So my dark tank, dark armor, dark melee. I almost always take energy mastery for the conserve and focused accuracy and physical perfection. I slot them different depending upon need. Now you can respec your character take a different loadout. If I respec, I still have to take stuff in dark armor and dark melee, but the power pool stuff, you can change that. So if you decide on different stuff, or like I might 3-slot something so I could 4-slot this, and then put 2 and 2 healing oriented ones. But this guy doesn't really double dark armor, dark melee is an end hog. So I knew it needed a lot of end, so I didn't go 4 with 2 and 2. I went 3 with all 3 and mod. He's a little better now with the incarnate. Or no, he doesn't have the incarnate up yet, but he's a little better now that I've hit cap. And once I get the incarnate, oh, I do have the incarnate. I didn't notice it. So yeah, he got a lot better once I put cardiac in there. Oh, there it is. I just missed it. I was looking earlier down here, and it's up top here. You can look at what you got going on here. These are all these down here that are toggled, that are running, sucking that end out. And man, it used to go down really bad, but now I can have all these running, and as long as I'm careful, once I get that capped, because that's a tier 3, I think. Yep, should be. Yep. Yeah, once I get that here, he'll really be set pretty good, and I won't use this as much, and I'll move it up to here, and then I'll just have to click it every once in a while, and I'll put something down there, like probably the judgment power, which will be void, which I already have. I just don't have it. Oh, I can slot it. I opened that up. Wow, you learn something new every day. Well, let's do that. Do I have an interface? Oh yeah, spectral. There we go. That's always on. Yep, see, it's there now. It's an auto power. That's like a debuffer, chance to immob. Yeah. Alright, let's run this guy. And we'll take a break and get some grub and feed the dogs. Make the puppies happy. Make the puppies happy. They're asleep. They don't care. They get fed regularly. They don't lack much. Crazy dogs. Hey, I got in position. Uh, oh, shoot. It's Thursday night. Well, that's perfect timing. Ay, ay, ay. It's Critical Role. Divergence Part 2. There, my weak little core judgment. I did 320 damage to what's his name there. Oh, I hear you back there. What are you boys doing? Are you ready for grub, Junior? I know, you're always ready for grub with a garbage gut. Alright, let's get positioned for our first set. Oh shoot, no power. There, come down here. Oh, ghosty, you debuffing wench. I love you as my patron when I play villains, but man, I don't like you when I'm a hero. Finally went down. Okay, we can go to the middle and be prepped for the second set. The taunt on the dark is just too funny. Too funny. Please. Bastard. He's the tough boy, aren't you? Full incarn, and I'll go plus 2 or 3 on you, and it won't be that bad. So, Mako, Black Scorpion, Shirako. Oh, Black Scorpion. Jeez, I'm not paying attention. Am I gonna make it? Nope. Where's my... Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else. I don't have my... whatchamacallit. Jeez. That's what I get for halfway falling asleep. I'll convert. Give me a bounce back. Thought I had it. Soul transfer, yeah, where was that at? Well, too late now. Oh well. Now I just gotta get my togs on. Before I go re-engage. Oh. I'm gonna be dead by the time I get over there. Oh, we still have Eve alone. There we go. Oh well. technically you can just run, hide in the corner, and let them finish. Although down near the end, when it's just these two, they cannot die. In this mission, anyway. It just takes a little bit for them to finish them off, but you can literally go hide in the corner, and they'll just take them out. Take me out. Take me out. What is that? Shoot. Dang it. I can't remember. Oh, shoot. Man, my mind. Dang it. Act, damage, and I got enough of those. I need these. Can't believe it. One time I had hardly any of these, and I was getting a fair amount of those now. Oof. Oh well. I got any cool salvage to dump? Yep. One catalyst. These enhancement catalysts are what make the enhancements attuned. Oh, I forgot to point that out. Kind of talked about it, but none of his are not attuned. And these superior special ones, you don't have to attune it. They don't scale. But they work at lower levels. They just don't scale. It's kind of weird. But I buy them attuned usually because it's not any more expensive because of the way the auction house works. But if you craft some and they're at 50, you don't have to waste a catalyst on there until you get all of your stuff done. And then if you just want it to look the same and it bugs you because you're OCD like me a little bit, not a little bit OCD, not a ton, but a little. But I can wait until I get all my other stuff, and these don't attune, so they don't matter. They scale no matter what. So yeah, these you can craft at a lower level, and the percentage won't be as high because it's at that low level, but they're useful throughout all the stuff. But if you do the attune, you see it says the enhancement's effective level is always the same as the user's. In addition, its effectiveness will increase when the user levels up. This enhancement effective scales to level 30. This enhancement has a minimum level of 7. So see, I could change those out with Glimpse of the Abyss and get better percentages by a couple percentage points, because Glimpse of the Abyss is the fear that goes to level 50. So those numbers I think would be 25 or 26 point something. Maybe. Let me look. 26 and a half. Oh, maybe that one does. That's weird. I wonder if they changed something, because that seems pretty high for a level 30. Crazy. Oh well. But yeah, that's what the attuned thing means. So yeah. And Umber is totally tricked out except for his incarnate abilities, because again, he needs to unlock these. And that's doing a bunch of Dark Astoria missions, and I've been doing some with him. He's probably, yeah, he's on Max's arc. There he goes. Praetor Duncan, Sister Laura, and then Dream Doctor. So there's 3 more arcs to go, and then I have to do a bunch of rinse and repeat. think I'm gonna get supper ready for me and the doggies. And that's it for part two here of a kind of an introduction, you know, stuff. I'll make some other videos that go into a little more in depth and on some stuff. And yep, then I'll get ready and get up and running on streaming some actual regular standard gameplay eventually, hopefully in the next week or so. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Happy hunting and stay safe.